So I wasn't planning on making this video, if I'm honest. I'm sick right now, and tomorrow is actually the Aether Edge sale. This was what I was supposed to get into. I made a whole thread about the fact that I wasn't going to be getting into more crypto gaming nodes anytime soon, and that this was going to be the next thing that I was going to do, and how I was going to be so happy about it. But then the FOMO in me bit. I have a lot of money in nodes, and I understand when there's a good node play that I should probably be getting into. This is it. 6 hours into a whitelist sale during a time where crypto gaming isn't doing that well. They've got $13 million on a whitelist sale. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. They also have, what was it over here? It was Animoca investing into them. And then we have also, where is it? We have Intella. Intella did a strategic investment into CARV. They are backed by top-tier VCs and Web3 ecosystems, such as Tamasax, Vertex Ventures, Consensus, Animoca, Tribe Capital, Hashkey Capital, and OKX Ventures. They're going to get on OKX pretty much, right? Because they've got OKX Ventures. Is that how that works? I don't know how it works, but I'm going to be going over this one. Tomorrow, I'm also going to have to be making that video on Aether Edge. If you're going to be getting into any of these sales, use code JM for 10% off. I'm personally going to be putting around $5,000 to $6,000 into this node sale. Full transparency, so you know that I've got skin in the game, and I'm also going to benefit from wherever CARV ends up going. So let's get into this project. What was the spiel for this? Well, the spiel is that CARV is a place that has a lot of traditional gamers, Web2 gamers, that are just interested in going ahead and playing games and connecting with people. Now, they've gone ahead and changed pretty recently into what is a data layer protocol. And I think it's really cool. This is where the nodes end up actually coming in. All it means is that all the people that end up using this platform, they go ahead, they make an account, they can mint their achievements on chain, and then pretty much all these companies can use that data to go ahead and make better decisions on who to actually advertise, right? If I've got 1 million FPS achievements, I'm much more likely to get an FPS advertisement. I think this makes a lot of sense. I think this is good. Now, this is the cooler part, right? They allow people to actually go ahead and control whether or not you can actually advertise with their data. And if you choose to go ahead and let them use your data, well, instead of, big old Google getting paid, you get paid, which I think is a wonderful model. And I'm sure a lot of people, guys, we have no privacy anyway. We have no privacy. It doesn't exist in 2024. So I'm assuming a lot of people are going to do it anyway, but you might as well get some cash for the data that they're selling on your behalf now. And so they've got this node sale. It is a modular data layer for gaming and AI. So they've got the two buzzwords. They have an AI agent. They've also got gaming, and they're revolutionizing how data is used and shared. I know there are a couple projects doing this, but it seems like they have the most hype right now. And that is a really big deal because the person that has the leg up is likely to be the person that actually ends up getting this thing to work in the first place. Other things you should go ahead and understand about this is the AI agent. Access the largest gaming knowledge hub at the tip of your fingers. Enjoy personalized recommendations for games and communities. Check airdrop eligibilities and discover reward-based quests. I think this is cool because I think questing is going to become an only bigger narrative. So it's nice that we have that in the actual flow. Of course, they're probably going to have their own chain because they are doing a node. Let's learn more about this node because it has multiple layers. All you really need to know about this layer is that you are going to be the people that are verifying. That's why it's called the verifier node sale. There's going to be people that are actually pushing these transactions to the chain. It's kind of like how Aether did checker nodes, but these guys are doing verifier nodes. Instead of having one centralized database verifying all of your data needs and transactions, if that gets exploited, then boom, all your data is all over the place. They have, I don't know, let's see, a heck of a lot more of these things. Let's look at the actual pricing here. They have 100,000 of these nodes, and total supply available for nodes, 25%. That's a heck of a lot of the supply for CARV, right? This is a huge amount of the supply that's going into these nodes. We got 100,000 nodes instead of one centralized database. If they can have even 10 to 20,000 of these sold, which I'm pretty sure they've already done that, then they can verifiably have enough decentralization to actually make something like CARV protocol work. So we now understand why this thing's even happening in the first place, what these nodes are about. Let me go through these valuations and give you some raw thoughts, because while I would like people to just use the code and buy all the way up to down here, I'm gonna be honest with you, with the current landscape in crypto gaming, where I think this is going to end up is somewhere around that 500 mil to 800 mil range. So at the latest, I'd probably buy tier 25. I'm planning on tomorrow's the public sale, actually. Hopefully we can get some of these lower tiers, right? Yeah, but that's a big gamble. The likelihood is that somewhere around that like 8 to 12, maybe even 16 is where we're going to end up grabbing our nodes with the amount of demand currently there. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'm more than happy to be wrong. Where I think these are a steal is around that 300 mil range and below. The thing about nodes is you're essentially taking a leveraged bet on an ecosystem. You're taking a leveraged bet on this actual thing working out in the first place. So they do have the first mover's advantage, and this is a big risk, right? There are a couple node plays we've gotten into that haven't worked out, but we've also gotten stuff like Myria that has pretty much paid off in droves. And so you've got to take your bets. You don't want to go all in on one specific node ecosystem because that would be very like irresponsible, but you do kind of want to spread out your bets amongst a ton of different node ecosystems to better your odds of actually making profit this cycle. And I think now that, we don't have as much demand as we had before, you're going to be able to get into these nodes at lower valuations, which is much more favorable than had it been peak that you'd get some ridiculous multi-billion-dollar, FDV, and then you'd have a really hard time actually going ahead and doing this. So that's the things, those are the things I liked about CARV. Other things we should talk about is probably the state of the actual node sales right now. I remember Aether had somewhere around $70 million worth of node sales when they went ahead and did their thing. There was also Sophon. We did okay on those. I think Sophon is still going to cook. I don't think it's not going to cook. But we have a lot of these other node plays that are going to be coming out this month specifically. I know there's like 𝐼Agent and a bunch of other ones. So I would say that, if you're getting into node sales this month, you're not going to want to get into more than 2 or 3. It's not like we're going to make 15 videos on different nodes. I think that the only very, very, very high quality nodes that are coming out this month is pretty much CARV and then this physical infrastructure thing with Aether. That's kind of all I'm getting into. So if you're going to go ahead, get into this thing, use code JM. Until the next time, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it educated you on what CARV is doing in the simplest terms. And until the next time, stay classy. And that's all.